Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. So it's actually been a little bit since we've done a discussion video, and I'm kind of at that point now where I'm trying to decide on the next modification, and I wanted to kind of discuss the different options and get some feedback from you guys. Anytime that I'm kind of in a little bit of a bind of which direction to go, I like making these videos, going over all the options, discussing what's good, what's not good, the pros and cons and everything, and obviously the options. Then usually I get some great responses of people with feedback, and then it helps me kind of lead in the right direction. First and foremost, I have been driving the car as much as I possibly can. My free time has been very not free lately, but I've been taking the car out, going for drives, just kind of taking it on smaller trips, not just, going to a specific place or whatnot. But, if I've run to the grocery store or whatever, I'll just take this and instead of taking the truck. And it's been a lot of fun. Been really enjoying it ever since we got the GTS hood painted and kind of everything blended, the side markers over here deleted, and everything else going on that we've recently did. It's amazing. So I'm actually coming up on a month since the paint was done. So we are almost at that point where it's been fully cured. Probably got to wait the full 45 days before I either paint correct it and ceramic coat it, or I PPF it. So I'm still back and forth on it. I've been driving the car a ton and I don't have any rock chips or anything. Everything has been perfect. So I don't know. I'm kind of back and forth on what direction I want to go still. I'm really enjoying just having paint. I'm a paint geek, detail geek. So having paint right here without any plastic on top is an amazing feeling, because ever since I got the car, it had PPF on it, and I always thought to take it off. And now that I have the opportunity of it completely off and everything looking perfect, I'm kind of hesitant to re-PPF the whole front end, but we will see. I still got a little bit. I'm not in a rush to get it done, but I'm considering it. I'm still thinking about it. MF Interior finally finished all of the interior parts. They are on the way. They're actually shipping out this week. So I'll have all that coming in hopefully soon, probably in the next week or two, coming from Germany. So I ended up getting a ton of interior pieces upholstered in Alcantara with everything else that I got going on in here with the Alcantara. It's going to match really well. I'm really excited for it. A pillar, B pillar, C pillar, all the pieces down here, the seatbelt area, the steering column here. It's going to be pretty sweet. I'm looking forward to it. The headliner, I wanted to get that done, but it was really expensive to ship. So I may have that done locally if I can find somebody to do it really well. We will see, but that is definitely something I would like to do as well. That's kind of the last piece, to be completely honest. But otherwise, those are coming in, so I'll have a video installing all that, showing the amazing work from MF Interior that I have over the years. I'm also coming up on a 2-year ownership, actually in about a week or so. So I'll be doing a full 2-year anniversary review ownership of this car. What do I think of it? Has things changed? Do I like it more? Do I like it less? What's the future hold for this car? So I'll be doing a full review video like I did on my year anniversary with it. So that is coming soon. But let's go ahead and let's get into the modification that I recently have been thinking about. So one thing that everybody always says to do in these cars is to upgrade the bushings. The bushings on pretty much everywhere in the car are rubber, which is pretty common with any type of car. Rubber bushings, what they actually do is they absorb a lot of the NVH, so you can drive nice and quiet, don't have any issues, but it still gives it some rigidity. But rubber over time wears down and you actually lose a lot of the driving performance from rubber bushings. So what a lot of people do is either they go to a poly bushing, a Delrin bushing, which is kind of very similar, or they go to a full solid bushing. Now I did the shifter upgrade with the Auto Solutions short shift kit, which is amazing, but I did the front 95A bushings, which are the firmest bushings, and I also did the Turner Motorsport rear poly bushing. Oh my God, this shifter is amazing. Increase the NVH a lot, so you can hear a lot of the tranny noise and the workings of everything, which sounds really cool. To be completely honest, I very much welcome that NVH. Most people aren't crazy about that since they daily these cars and they don't want the extra noise, but for me and what I use this car for, I kind of welcome that. I want a more raw experience, and kind of upgrading the bushings to a little bit more firm bushing, poly bushing, solid bushing. It kind of increases the overall enjoyment for me. So with that said, a lot of people say upgrading the differential bushings and bracket is a must in these cars. So unfortunately, I'm not able to show it since it's under the car, but the differential in the back, the stock bracket is a 1 bushing mount. And because of that, you actually lose a lot of the drivetrain performance. So a lot of the movement from the rubber bushing and the single bushing gets lost when the power gets sent to the rear wheels. So there's quite a few different aftermarket companies that have come out with some great solutions, completely new brackets and bushings to be able to mount it to 2 different mounting points as opposed to 1. They also include the bushings and a whole new bracket and everything. So it's a really, really cool solution to be able to kind of get rid of that slop and that movement from the rubber bushing and the single mount and really, really get the power to the ground. And we'll go over all the different options as well as the pros and cons of them. But I really, really am looking into the differential bracket and bushings. So the first thing that you can actually do without getting too crazy is upgrade just the bushings. You can leave the stock bracket in there, the stock diff bracket, and just upgrade the bushings to like a poly bushing, like PowerFlex is an example. ECS, I believe, has some, a couple other different options out there. Basically, it's just a harder bushing that slips right into the stock brackets, and you get a little bit better feel overall. But I want to take it a step further. I want to do the full solution. I want the full brackets. I want the 2-mount solution. Personally, I would like to go with a full solid bushing. Now, not a full aluminum bushing, but I would like to go with something quite a bit firmer than the stock rubber bushing. So I'm looking at basically 2 or 3 different options. The first one, and probably the most popular one that a lot of people have already told me to go with, is the KMP differential bracket and bushings. Basically, it comes with a whole entire bracket that mounts in 2 locations. I believe it also includes aluminum braces or aluminum, I don't want to say they're bushings or I forget what they're actually called, but they're aluminum pieces that slip in, as well as some poly bushings. And obviously the NVH is increased tenfold. You hear a lot of differential whine, which I personally love. Very, very race car sounding. I know a lot of people obviously are gonna say, don't do that because it's very loud and gets very annoying. But for what I use this car for, it makes a lot of sense. I kind of welcome that. I want a more raw experience. With the transmission bushings and everything, I love that. And get some really, really cool race car whine out of the diff in the back would be awesome. So I'm looking into the KMP. That's my number one. Also, another great thing about the KMP is it actually lifts the diff 10 millimeters. And that is good because my car is very, very low, and being able to kind of lift it off the ground just a little bit to give it some extra clearance. I'm not running into any issues with it hitting anything, but just in case, lifting it up 10 millimeters is definitely a plus for me. So another great benefit of lifting the diff up just a little bit when you are lowered is that the actual drive shaft and the differential, when you do lower the car, it actually angles the drive shaft a little bit. And because of that, it actually wears down components a little bit faster when it's not at the right angle. So when you do lift it, that 10 to 14 millimeters, depending on which option you go with, it straightens out everything and it lasts longer, and it also delivers the power better. So that alone, to me, knowing that it's going to last longer and perform as it should, is definitely a plus in my book. The second option I'm looking into is the BimmerWorld bracket and bushings. This one's a little bit more track oriented because it actually lifts it up 14 millimeters. I know it's only 4 millimeter difference than the KMP one, but the BimmerWorld, actually, you need to do some trimming on the actual subframe for the fins. If you don't, it's going to hit the subframe and obviously cause a lot of issues. So I've heard some really, really cool examples of the BimmerWorld one, some in-cabin videos from a buddy of mine, and it sounds amazing. I love the extra whine. I'm very, very excited for that. I know it's kind of crazy, but that's kind of the one of the biggest things that I'm looking forward to in doing this. I really want that differential whine. I think it sounds so cool. But I think the BimmerWorld one is a little too much for me. There's kind of no need to lift it up the full 14 millimeters. I think it's a little too much, believe it or not. I know it's kind of hard for me to say that. If I tracked it, yes, that makes sense just to give an extra clearance and everything. But for my personal sake, I don't think I'm gonna go with the BimmerWorld one, but if people have other experience with it, let me know. Still leaning towards the KMP just because of, I think it really fits my needs. But the other one I'm also thinking about is the Turner Motorsport bracket with the ECS bushings, which is also a really good option. I believe it's around like $500-600. KMP is around 1,000. BimmerWorld, I think, is around like 500-600. And the Turner Motorsport and the ECS bushings, I believe, are around 500-600 as well. So kind of in a similar price category. KMP is a little bit more expensive just because I think it's a little bit nicer product in my opinion. But ultimately, you're kind of getting the same results. So I'm really curious of what other people went with. I know there's a few other options out there as well. I know there's a PowerFlex option as well with the bracket that you can get. I actually ran PowerFlex R-tabs in my E46 M3 in the rear control arms back in the day, and I love them. They were great. So PowerFlex is not out of the question, but I still think KMP is the best solution. I don't know. I'm kind of going back and forth on it. Wanted to get some real life experience and hear some feedback with you guys and what you think. And also if you guys have a hookup or where you think I should get the KMP or whichever one I go with, let me know. I'm kind of leaning towards BimmerWorld. I believe they have the best pricing at the available right now. So lean towards that. But if anybody has any hookups or anything, let me know. Now in terms of install, it is not a fun install. I personally wouldn't want to do it just because you need to actually drop the subframe a little bit. And working on your back, especially at my age, is not the funnest thing anymore.
I broke my back.
Maybe I'll get some time to be able to do it, but we will see. Most likely I'll just head up to my shop, Auto Couture Motoring, and get it done. But I don't know, we will see. I know a lot of people that have done this install themselves and they say, my God, please go pay somebody to do it. And usually when I hear other people say that, it's kind of my cue to listen to them. But sometimes I'm stubborn and I do enjoy installing modifications on my own car and doing this stuff myself. So we will see. Obviously it depends on the free time and everything, if I can get it done and all that. This is not my daily driver, so it's not something I need to get done in a day or two or the weekend or anything. I can take my time with it and it may be fun knocking that out and kind of showing you how to and all that, but we will see. But let me know in the comments below which one you think I should go with. KMP, BimmerWorld, the Turner Motorsport one with the ECS bushings, PowerFlex, any other options. I am welcoming any recommendations, feedback. I would love to hear it. I'm really curious, but I'm really looking forward to doing this. The car is pretty much done, you know, quote unquote, and there's only a few things that I would like to do, and the differential bracket and bushing is definitely something that I think is fantastic because it delivers the power better, it gets rid of the wheel hop, it aligns the drive shaft better with the diff and everything is leveled out, also gives a little bit more clearance, and also it just puts the power down. There's no drivetrain loss or anything when the power gets sent to the rear and everything. So there's a lot of benefits. The only con that I would say is that one, install is a pain in the butt if you're doing it yourself. And two, the NVH noise is such a subjective thing to everybody. You know, exhaust sounds, NVH inside a car, that kind of stuff. Everybody's different, so I can't say if it's a good thing or bad thing. If little noises bother you inside of a car and you drive it every single day, probably not the thing for you, and probably the best route to go if you want to upgrade something in the diff is just to do some ECS bushings or something like that and leave the stock bracket alone, just to kind of stiffen it up a little bit, but not increase any NVH. I think that's the best route if you guys want to do something like that. But for somebody like myself that uses this car as a fun weekend toy and doesn't mind the extra NVH, actually welcomes the NVH. Everybody that I have known that has done it is saying that it's one of the best things that they can ever do to this car. It's one of their favorite modifications. So I'm really looking forward to it. A lot of benefits, only a few cons. Obviously up to you if the NVH really bothers you, but for me, a little bit different. I welcome that stuff, so I'm looking forward to it. But that is going to do it for this one. Let me know in the comments below which option you think is best. If you have any feedback with any of them, I welcome everything. This is the kind of research I love doing so I can figure out what is the best option. That is what I've done basically with this entire car, and look where it turned out. So doing my due diligence, researching, trying to find the best solution for me. If you guys have any questions at all about the car or anything else, please leave them in the comments below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.